Now at 5, the EPA takes action to deal with contaminated soil in Caney, Kansas. Plus, the White House action giving more American student loan relief. And
the White House says new major sanctions against Russia will be issued this week. I'm Natalie Brand. It comes as we're learning of another American arrested in Russia who has dual citizenship.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The Environmental Protection Agency is in Caney, Kansas, taking the next step to deal with contaminated soil. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. 2 EPA representatives are asking property owners in Caney to have access to residential properties for the removal and replacement of contaminated soil, specifically lead. The EPA changed the qualifications of safe lead levels in soil. This is a 3-year project, and residents can expect sampling to start next summer.
But they were operating under a different cleanup level of 400 parts per million, and since then we have new processes, new science, and it's just been an evolving process to see that 200 parts per million is more protective than the 400 parts per million level.
It seems to look quite a bit different than it was last time. So,
really, is that a good thing or a bad thing for you?
Well,
just more thorough.
If something's wrong, I want to get it fixed.
Representatives from the EPA will be at Caney City Library tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The public is welcome. MSSU teacher ed students had the chance to hand out their resumes to local school districts this afternoon. More than 50 school districts attended the Education Career Fair and shared their opportunities with Missouri Southern students. Many school districts across the 4 states and nation are dealing with a teacher shortage. The Education Career Fair was an opportunity for students and alumni seeking the teaching positions and graduate programs.
It's kind of nice to see those availabilities pop up that I have missed over or are from further away that I haven't seen yet.
Great opportunity to see people that are looking to go into the profession and to become teachers and help all of our kids in the future.
Again, we're going to have more on this story for you tonight at 6. Colton Sprinkle is a first-year music teacher at Columbian Elementary in Carthage. Recently, he made a decision to help one of his students and has provided her with the opportunity to create music with all other students. Third grader Belinda Velasquez has a congenital condition in her left hand limiting the use of her fingers. Sprinkle was able to find a customizable recorder that would allow Belinda to mainly use her right hand. The recorder has all the same capabilities as a standard recorder and now allows Belinda to play all the same music as her peers.
Belinda's a lot of fun to teach. She has a lot to say. She has a lot to say. She participates in everything we do. She really likes when we're singing. She's a good singer. I can hear her through the class. She's very positive. She's always got a good attitude.
We're going to have more from Belinda and Mr. Sprinkle tonight at 6. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy for a first look at the weather.
Well, it's definitely turned out to be a warm one for us today. Temperatures have shot all the way up into the mid, some areas upper 70s for afternoon highs. And this is where we sit outside for you right now, low to mid 70s. It's kind of windy out there. We have these southerly winds, which are popping our temperatures up. And this is ahead of our next little wave, which is going to start to roll in later on tonight. But the evening looks fine. Slide back through the 60s. Some scattered thunderstorms trying to pop up, especially after about 10 p.m. There's nothing going on right now. We have partly cloudy skies, but here's our little wave right out across southwestern parts of Kansas. This is going to start to roll in. Again, the evening hours are going to be fine, but once we get to about midnight, scattered thunderstorms start to pop up, and some of these could pack a little bit of a punch. So we're going to talk more about this and what is to come here in just a bit.
See you in a few minutes. An American citizen faces up to 20 years in a Russian prison after being arrested on suspicion of treason. Her reported crime, contributing about $50 to a Ukrainian charity. This comes as tensions between the two countries are running high over the war in Ukraine and the latest death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny. Natalie Brand has more details now from the White House.
Russia's security services said this week it has arrested Ksenia Karolina, an American with dual Russian citizenship. The Los Angeles resident, an amateur ballerina, is being held on charges of espionage and treason. Karolina is accused of making a $51 donation to a Ukrainian charity.
Russia does not recognize dual citizenship, considers them to be Russian citizens first and foremost, and so oftentimes we have a difficult time getting consular assistance, but we will pursue it.
Her former mother-in-law tells CBS News that she fears for Karolina's life.
Very, very concerned about her. About her physical being. We know that Navalny was just killed a few days ago. We know it wasn't just a death, it was a murder.
News of the arrest comes as President Biden has vowed he will issue new sanctions on Russia. They're in response to the death of Russian opposition leader Alexei Navalny and the invasion of Ukraine 2 years ago. White House officials say the sanctions will be aimed at Russia's defense sector. During a fundraiser in Los Angeles, the president slammed former President Donald Trump for not condemning Russian President Vladimir Putin over Navalny's death.
Navalny is a very sad situation, and he's very brave.
When asked about Navalny during a Fox News town hall Tuesday, Trump pivoted to his own legal fights.
We are turning into a communist country in many ways, and if you look at it, I'm the leading candidate. I got indicted. I never heard of being indicted before. I got indicted 4 times. I have 8 or 9 trials.
Meanwhile, the White House is trying to put pressure on House Republicans to take up a foreign aid package to provide Ukraine with much-needed ammunition. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
House Speaker Mike Johnson called for a 2-week recess without taking up an emergency bill the Senate passed that included more than $60 billion in aid for Ukraine. He's not yet said whether he will support the aid, but has said he will not abandon Ukraine. The Boeing executive in charge of the company's 737 MAX production program is out of a job. In an email to employees today, Boeing announced it's replacing Ed Clark, who had been with the company for nearly 18 years. The 737 MAX is Boeing's best-selling plane, but has been a source of repeated problems over the last 5 years, most recently a door plug on a Boeing 737 MAX flown by Alaska Airlines blew off soon after takeoff. Still ahead on KOAM News at 5, results of a new study on breast cancer screening guidelines and how a daughter is helping her father battle heart disease. Those stories next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, a new study finds annual breast cancer screening beginning at age 40 and continuing to at least age 79 saves the most lives. Researchers from Dartmouth reviewed the outcomes of different scenarios, including screenings every other year and starting screening at age 50. They found annual screening beginning at age 40 lowered the risk of death by 41%. A dynamic duo is on a life-saving mission fighting heart disease with fitness during this American Heart Month. Stephanie Stahl has one father and daughter's story.
Walking up hills.
Yeah. It's a journey of survival for Jeff Perez, working out with his daughter Stephanie in Northeast Philadelphia.
I feel better, I feel stronger.
For 12 years now, the 62-year-old has been struggling with cardiomyopathy, a weak heart muscle.
I was starting to have a lot of chest pains and a lot of shortness of breath.
With his heart failing, Jeff says he'll eventually need a heart transplant. For now, he's being kept alive with an LVAD that's like an external heart pump.
These are the batteries.
There are thousands of people like Jeff waiting for transplants. He's hoping to improve his odds by being in the best shape he can.
You're really working out here, huh?
Stephanie, the general manager of This Planet Fitness, is overseeing her dad's fitness routine.
It's really nice to just have him here.
What do you do to keep him motivated to work out?
Rough him up. No, I always check on him.
Jeff is also carefully monitored by his doctors at Temple, who have told him these daily workouts are critical.
Got scared at first. And I remember my dad, what he went through before he passed away. He was 63 when he died of the same thing.
Is that the one you want?
Fighting heart disease is a family affair, with Stephanie now paying attention to her own heart health while being focused on her dad.
He's always done everything for me, so I want to return that as much as I can.
Staying in lockstep, working out, hopeful for a brighter future, and having fun together.
Do you guys like working out together?
Yeah.
No.
Mixing laughter with fitness for stronger hearts. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News, Philadelphia.
There are about 3,300 people on the waiting list for a heart transplant. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our Pet Vet on Call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Judek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to tell you how you can decrease stray cats in a community.
Plus, we have some scattered thunderstorms rolling in later on tonight. Details coming up. Well, it turned out to be a nice Wednesday for us today. A little bit on the breezy side, but we really warmed up. Temperatures warmed well into the 70s for afternoon highs. Quite a bit of sunshine. It looks pretty good out there right now. Here's a nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course. Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri. But we are going to get at least chances for a few scattered thunderstorms trying to roll in later on tonight. So we have you can see it's a marginal threat for severe weather. So out of 5 levels, this is a level 1 out of 5. We could get a few stronger storms, but most of these will stay under severe limits. Timing 10 p.m. until about 3 o'clock in the morning. Main threat is going to be hail. These are elevated storms, so we don't see much of a tornado threat with these types of setups. All right, let's go outside. Looks good. We have some mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming through, but here's our wave out across western parts of Kansas. So once it passes really Wichita, we'll start to fire off a few pop-up little thunderstorms later on tonight. But the evening, it looks fine. We're going to slide back through the 60s. Here's midnight, scattered thunderstorms popping up along the Kansas-Oklahoma state line. Driving east as we go through the overnight hours. Again, some of these could be a little stronger, maybe low-grade severe. Working into southwestern Missouri. Here's 2 o'clock in the morning, and then most of these push out by morning. So it's just a quick little batch that is going to rotate through, and it's going to be scattered. Not everybody's going to get the rain. Through the evening, 70s, 60s, you can see the scattered thunderstorms by midnight, but eventually we'll drop back into the 50s later on tonight. Look at this. It's 70 in Nevada, 75 Neosho, 76. Anderson, it's 80. In Jay, 74. In Parsons, so everybody seeing fantastic temperatures. We can go outside, 7th and range line. Southerly winds at about 10 to 15, so it has been a little bit on the breezy side. It's going to stay breezy as we go through tonight, and then again for us tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll get northerly winds, but the winds are going to be gusting 20 to about 25. Even on Friday, we're going to have northwesterly winds kind of kicking in that 15 to 20 to 25 mile per hour range. All right, as we go into your Thursday, we're going to have some clouds in the morning. We could get a random sprinkle or two, and then partly sunny skies. Cooler tomorrow, but still fantastic. Mid 60s for highs. Tomorrow night, we drop back a little bit cooler, upper 30s to near 40 degrees. And then on Friday, looking pretty good. Partly sunny skies, high temps, back into the mid 60s during the afternoon. Here's your day planner tomorrow. 57 to start, 63 by noon. High temp right around 65 degrees. 63 on Friday, 63 Saturday. Look at the weekend. Fantastic. 72 on Sunday, and then we soar through the 70s again with our next storm system rolling in early next week.
Wow, those temps and the chance of showers sounds like spring.
Yeah, kind of feels like it.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, today's action giving more Americans relief from student loans. Topping today's Consumer Watch, the Biden administration is canceling an additional $1.2 billion worth of student loan debt. Those who qualify should check their inbox. Natalie Brand reports.
From a library in Culver City, California, President Biden says he's making good on a campaign promise to take aim at student loan debt.
While a college degree is still a ticket to a better life, that ticket is too expensive. And too many Americans are still saddled with unsustainable debt in exchange for a college degree.
Wednesday's announcement impacts around 153,000 borrowers who will have their remaining debt erased.
And that's life-changing. I no longer have to be forced to choose to work or to settle to simply pay off student loan debt.
The administration emailed those eligible who need to be enrolled in the federal SAVE repayment plan, have been repaying their loans for at least 10 years, and had borrowed $12,000 or less. The Biden administration says it's working to fix a broken student loan system and working on an alternative plan after the Supreme Court blocked the president's program to cancel debt for more than 40 million borrowers.
There are millions of folks that are left to wait.
Aisa Banyas of the Student Borrower Protection Center says while the administration's actions to date help, the root of the problem still needs to be addressed.
We need to see that same urgency from folks in Congress. And then I think we need to see the system overall we need it to be much easier for folks to navigate.
In the meantime, she advises borrowers to do their research and determine whether one of the newer income-driven repayment plans, such as SAVE, could reduce their monthly payments. Natalie Brent, CBS News, the White House.
Adding in this latest round of canceled debt, the Biden administration says it's approved loan relief for nearly 3.9 million borrowers through executive actions. American Airlines has raised its fees for checked baggage. The price is going to increase from $30 to $35 on domestic flights if purchased online. The fee goes up to $40 if a traveler wants to buy in the airport. A second checked bag is $45 online or in the airport. Thousands of Wise camera customers had images and videos of their homes visible to strangers last week due to a security event. The company says there was an outage last Friday, and when the cameras came back on, 13,000 users received thumbnails from other people's homes. Wise says it's added a new layer of verification to ensure that users are only shown feeds that belong to them. Our Pet Vet on Call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, the high cost of college tuition and why Americans are racking up crippling debt. And then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to hear more from that Carthage student benefiting from the kindness of her music teacher. Plus, Mercy Hospital in Columbus, Kansas celebrates the opening of a new infusion suite today. We'll explain just what that means to patients. And Frontenac sends 3 female wrestlers to state for the first time. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Plenty of people love their cats, but too many cats without owners, well, that can be a real problem. Today's question for our Pet Vet on Call: what's a humane way to deal with an overabundance of stray cats?
The term is called TNR, Trap, Neuter, Return. It's an international program where cats in a community are trapped, they're spayed or neutered, their left ear is notched, the top of it is cut off, and then they are returned to their community. That is key because they're the ones that keep other cats from coming into their territory. But the ultimate way to cure that problem is human education and making people responsible and accountable for their pets. You can't keep throwing them out unspayed and neutered and solve the problem. The problem is not caused by the cats, it's caused by the people.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday right here on KOAM News at 5. Of course, you can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen an adult male boxer mix. His name is Ben. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, walking right into your TV and into your home there, an adult male cat, domestic short hair. His name is Mitty. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? We're enjoying some beautiful weather to get outside and maybe enjoy the yard with your pet.
Yeah, it looks pretty good as we go through the evening hours. We slip back through the 60s. We are going to get some hit-miss storms later on tonight. 65 tomorrow, a little bit cooler, but still fantastic temperatures all the way in and through the weekend.
Yeah, what a weekend to look forward to. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next, and of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. Let's make it a great evening.